Hello everyone, welcome to my second C++ tutorial. Today we'll be looking at variables and assignments. Okay, so what is a variable? A variable is a name, location, value. The name being the name that you'll give the variable in the program to call it, assign it, and display it, etc. Its location is where it's stored in memory. The location allows us to retrieve the value stored, which means that when the variable is called, the location and the value is also brought up, which allows us to do different things with the variable. And the value of the variable is what is actually being held by the variable. So what the variable is storing, basically. So let's crack on and we will make a program. So we go and open an empty file and we save it straight away. So let's say second program.cpp. Don't forget the .cpp, it's very important. So yeah, we'll go and say include iostream. This is the library, input output library, which allows us to use different functionality from that library in our project. This is a namespace which just saves space in our program, and we go on to the int main. This is the main function of the program, and every program needs an main function because this is the body of the program, and this is where the program first runs from. So let's go on, and let's say we're making a program to ask the user what their age is and to store their age in a variable. So using what we already know, we'll ask the user first, so we'll say cout please enter your age, followed by end line, and then when we know that this cout means that we're displaying something to the user. So when we want to save something in a variable, we can say cin, which means we are cin means character input stream. So we're basically taking in what the user has inputted into the keyboard. So, but before we can take in what we have been given from the user, we need to make a variable to be able to store what has been input by the user. So let's say, so age is a integer. You can't, well, let's just keep it basic now and say int age. And how we declare a variable is we use the data type first, which is integer, and then we name the variable, which would be age, and then it's just good programming practice to assign the variable to what it will be, and we can just do it to 0, because after we ask the user what their age is, they'll input something different, so it can be replaced. What the user will replace 0, so everything will be fine. So back here to the cin part, we say cin and then age. And what we can notice here is that the arrows are facing the opposite direction. So this just tells us that when we want to display something to the user, it's going that way. So from the right is going to the left. But on this side, what has been typed in by the user is going to be stored inside the variable. So let's carry on, and don't forget our return 0 line. And to be honest, this isn't good enough for us to run yet, because even if we enter in our age, we have no proof of that the variable has been changed. So we can do another output statement and say you are then we can say age and and what this line of code does is that it will say you are, and then we'll put the age which was just inputted by the user, and then the line will end, and then the program will end, returning 0. So we can save this, and then we can build it. The build process is it simply takes all of our code and then compiles it into machine code, so then it can be run. Then we can run it now, and then it says please enter your age. I'm 18, so I'll say 18. And then here we are, it says you are 18. So yeah, as we expected, there we are. So now we've done this, we can now have an idea of how to use variables. And there are other different variable types, such as string, character, floats, etc. So let's move on, and we can try and make it a bit more difficult, and we can start using calculations with our data that we've saved in the variables. So let's get rid of this. Okay, and let's say that we want to perform calculations on two numbers, being in a number equaling 5 and b number equaling 6. So how we do this is we need to use another variable to store the answer of the product of these two numbers. So we'll say int sum equals a number multiplied, this star sign is a multiplication sign, and b number, and then we can say cout the product of 5 and 6 equals and we can say sum endl. And then we can save this, and let's build it to check to see if we have any errors, and we don't. And then let's run it. Okay, there we are, and the statement shows the product of 5 and 6 equals 30, and that is correct. So there we are. So I've just given you a little insight of what variables are and how we can use them to perform different things in our projects. And we can also do the same with different data types, such as strings. We can say string name equals, and just when we're declaring a string variable, we use speech marks, and we can just leave them empty just to let the program know that the name hasn't got a value yet. So let's say please enter your name. And using what we already know, we can say cin, and we can store what the user has entered into our name variable, and then let's output that name and say, oh, you are and then endl. So let's save it, let's build it quickly, we have no errors, great, and then run it. Okay, Daniel. Okay, there we are, and as our statement shows, my name is in fact Daniel, yes, and there we are. So this is how to use variables, and I hope it helps to give a solid foundation, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Thanks for watching.